Hello and welcome to this Forex Preview at xm.com. We'll be discussing the Bank of England's upcoming meeting and the outlook for the pound. I'm Maria Bashardez, and joining me is lead investment analyst Rafi Boyadjian. So Rafi, the Bank of England will meet on Thursday, and speculation of a 50 basis point rate hike is growing in the run-up to the meeting, which would mark quite a shift from the 25 basis point increments we've been used to from the Bank of England. How significant would such a move be, and what else should we expect from the August meeting?
Well, Maria, this would mark quite a shift in the sense that even though the Bank of England has raised rates 5 times already since December, they've been doing so at a rather slow pace, raising rates by 25 basis point increments. So this would mark an acceleration in the pace of tightening by the Bank of England. And it's come to the point that Bank of England has now started to fall behind other central banks, even though it was one of the first to start hiking rates. Other central banks such as the Fed, the Bank of Canada, they've really become quite aggressive in their last few meetings. Even the ECB raised rates by 50 basis points. So the Bank of England, if you exclude the Bank of Japan, is the only major central bank that hasn't raised rates by more than 25 basis points. The question, though, is this going to be a one-off? Are they going to raise rates by more than 25 basis points several in other meetings, in the other remaining meetings of the year? That might depend on how the bank thinks the economy will evolve. They're going to publish the latest quarterly set of forecasts, both on inflation and on GDP growth. Now, the UK economy hasn't been doing too badly. I mean, there's a lot of headlines around the recession, but as far as the actual data is concerned, it's not. The UK economy is not in recession, and may be perhaps even several months away, or 1 or 2 quarters away from a recession. The labor market remains very tight. The property market, there's been a little bit of slowdown, but house prices are still growing quite rapidly. And even consumer spending, despite the cost of living crisis, we haven't seen a collapse in consumer spending in the UK yet. Of course, inflation is still very high. It did rise to 9.4%, and it's likely to reach 11 or 12% by the end of the year. So the Bank of England, this is now an opportunity for them to raise rates a little bit more aggressively now that they are in a position to do so. But we're also going to be getting a decision quite likely on the balance sheet reduction. Now, in February, we did hear from the Bank of England saying that they're going to stop reinvesting in maturing government bonds. Now, it's quite likely they will announce that they will start to actively sell government bonds. So this would accelerate the reduction of their rather big balance sheet. And so this will be quite closely watched, because it's obviously going to contribute to the entire tightening cycle by the Bank of England.
So if the Bank of England goes with a 50 basis point hike, would that be enough to keep the pound on the front foot against the dollar?
Well, that is an interesting question. The pound, it's rebounding rather nicely now. It's has a 2-week rebound against the US dollar, but that's mainly on the back of the weakness in the US dollar. Clearly, if we do get a hawkish, more hawkish than expected comments from Governor Bailey in his press conference, we do get a 50 basis point hike. The bank leaves open the possibility of more 50 basis point increases, and we also get a rather aggressive pace of reduction in the balance sheet. That could potentially act as a strong support for the pound against further declines, but would be enough to defend sterling should we see a rebound in the US dollar. that's probably going to be a bit more difficult because, of course, the dollar, if you do see another hockey shift by the Fed, or maybe we see a fresh flow, safe haven flows towards the dollar, then it will be difficult for the pound to stand firm, even if we get a hockey shift by the Bank of England.
Rafi, thanks so much. And thanks for joining us at XM.com.